Final Touch TV. I am Greg L.A.R with Final Touch Detailing. Our topic for the day is buffing the exterior of a vehicle. What I'm going to use is a 3,000 RPM buffer here, which is made by DeWalt. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to compound buff. I'm going to use a compound. It's like a 3-stage or 4-stage buffing. So that way when you go to a detail shop and they say, okay, we're going to compound your car. If they're going to compound your car, you got to have either a heavy-duty compound or a light compound. But the bottle will say compound. And another thing about compound, when you use compound, you always use a wool pad. And what a wool pad does, you want to use a wool pad, and what a wool pad does, it heats the paint up on your car, which brings the scratches out and it gives it a better luster. So if you go to a detail shop and they say we're going to compound your car, I see on a lot of advertisements on a lot of detail shops where they say we'll compound your vehicle and buff it and wax it. But they're not really compounding your car. Older cars from like the early 90s on back to the 80s and the 70s, they would need what you would call a compound because they have enamel paint. Enamel paint didn't have that much of a clear coat to it, so they were dulling out a little bit. Now you have a clear coat on your vehicles where you really don't have to use a wool pad. Very rarely do you have to use a wool pad because your paint will not dull out. But it will lose its shine a little bit. It will lose its luster, but you can always bring it back. And you can bring that back with a foam pad. Now, a lot of detailers today, this is all they use is a foam pad. A foam pad is nothing but a polishing pad. They put the wax on and they buff it off. So, when they're telling you they're giving you a 2-stage or a 3-stage buffing, they're not giving you none of that. And you're paying a lot of money for it. And I want to be honest with you, because I think you should get more for your money, not less, not less work or paying for something that you don't have to be paying for. Also, what I'm going to show you the difference between using a wool pad on a vehicle that's oxidized a little bit, and then you're going to see the difference, because we're going to go through the motion and show you the proper steps to take. And I wouldn't recommend anybody to use a high-speed buffer if you do not know how to buff a car. An orbital buffer you can use at your home, but a high-speed buffer you cannot use at your house, unless you know about it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to rub a little compound on here. It's going to put some swirls in it, and as always, the swirls can always come out if you know what you're doing. So, and that's what compound does. It leaves a lot of swirls. So if you don't know what you're doing, better than you're doing. So I'll put some compound on here. A little much there. It's got a little grit in it. Even if you buff a car that's dirty with compound, it helps to bring up the shine a little more. Because as I was saying, it heats up and you have to be careful because this wool pad will burn your paint. So you want to stay away from moldings, any of your moldings, because it will turn it white and it will burn it because of the RPMs that you have it set on. So if you have it set on low RPMs, the chance of you burning anything in the paint, if you leave it in one spot too long, it will burn the paint. That's with the wool pad. Now we're going to change to the foam pad. Alright? And now what we're going to use is called a McGuire's number 3. Always have yourself a damp applicator when you applying a cleaner. This is a cleaner. This is going to lift some of the scratches, some of the dullness out, as well as the swirls that would be on the vehicle. mirror glaze. Number 7 mirror glaze. Number 7 mirror glaze is a cleaner wax. It's a cleaner, not a wax. And number 3 is a cleaner as well. But number 3, what it does is it lifts the oxidation as well, removes swirls. And number 7 is a cleaner, and it removes swirls as well and light scratches. You can use it by hand too. That's the number 7. Now we're going to put a wax on it, which is called film cleaner, which is made by Productions. You're going to really see the shine come up now. Also, it's going to remove all the swirls. Put it on with a damp applicator. You can put it on kind of light so you don't have a whole lot of wax splashing all over the place. Usually you can put it on the whole car and let it dry. You can also use this by hand as well. Now for our final touch, what we're going to do, we're going to take some magic wax, which is made from Carsco. The guy from Carsco, he makes it himself. He's been making it for years. He's been on the market a long time. We're going to take this magic paste wax, and I'm going to show you the proper way to wax a car as well. So once you got your little damp applicator or damp rag, you take your wax, put a little bit on the rag, and when you wax a vehicle, this is very important. You always go back and forth. You don't go in a circular motion, because when you go in a circular motion, you get those little swirls in your paint. That's where a lot of your swirls come from. So if you go back and forth, you're going with the grain of the paint. When a car is painted from the factory, it is painted like this. When the car has body work done on it and the painter paints it, he goes back and forth. So you go with the grain of the paint, so that way it keeps you from getting all these little small little circles in your paint. Includes our topic for the day: exterior car care, buffing, and waxing. You may visit us at our website at finaltouchdetailing.net, or if you have any questions or comments, you can reach us at area code 240-456-4502. Thank you.
Final Touch TV is developed and produced by
L.A.R Consulting Design. Solutions under one roof. Call 866-338-2474 or visit larconsulting.net.